These vlogs are really hard to do. I'm losing the track of the days. I don't really go out much or really at all. Hey baby, I'm breastfeeding right now, so if I look down, I'm just making sure she's breathing and that she's okay and that she's not choking. So, what was I gonna say? So, this is day, okay, if I went home Saturday. Anyways, I went home Saturday, so this is like day 3 or 4 of being home. And I'm already stir crazy. I'm already like cooped up crazy, whatever it's called, cabin fever. Already, like, I'm judging what I look like right now. I look terrible. Hey boo boo. Ow, that hurt. The first couple, ooh, the first couple of days were really weird, really hard, very trying. Like, I want to cry right now just thinking about like the first 2 days home were very challenging. And I love her so much, and but I suffer with depression in real life. I don't know what I was about to say, real life, but I suffer with depression in my regular day life before I was pregnant, before I even thought about being pregnant. Like, I suffer with depression. I've suffered with depression officially around like 16, 17 years old, but I'm pretty much sure that I've been having depression situations since I was like really young, probably starting around 7 or 8. But it wasn't really like diagnosed until like my late teens. So yeah, but so that being said, my therapist even got me prepared and not like spoke it into existence necessarily, but like was like, you suffer with depression, so most likely your chances of getting postpartum depression is like already, super high. So knowing that, I thought I was prepared, and I was like, yeah, because I'm so used to like one type of, sorry, I'm trying to do this all one-handed. I'm used to one type of depression, which is just my depression. Like, it's how I've always been depressed. Like, I'll just be blue for like a day or 2 days or sometimes a week or whatever. It never lasts more than like a couple weeks or whatever. And so, but probably this started around the second day of being in the hospital. Things just kind of started getting really overwhelming. I started crying almost immediately. There's a lot of personal reasons why, I'm already about to cry. Like, my hormones are like really out of whack. So without the postpartum situation, which I haven't been officially diagnosed with, but hello. I don't really have to be officially diagnosed to know. Hey, baby. Ow, that hurts really bad. Okay, sorry, she was done. She was done, and when she's kind of like done, she tries to just like chomp on my nipple, and I'm like, I am not a buffet. Huh? I'm not a buffet. She's like, yes, you are. You're a whole snack. Anyways, your whole meal. Boo baby. Oh, what's wrong? I'm trying to talk to YouTube. You're being rude. Just kidding. But what I was gonna say was, when you're used to a certain type of depression, the thing is, you're like, I'm thinking that I'm just gonna feel a little blue here and there and whatever, and it's gonna go away. Like, postpartum depression, if this is what I have, quote, quote, because I'm pretty sure it is, if this is what I have, postpartum is like completely different. And then also, sorry, I'm gonna do that a lot because I don't sleep a lot now. And if you are not interested in this video, please click off. But I know a lot of expecting moms and new moms that may be like identifying this with me, or just have heard of this before, or maybe you want to try to avoid it, which postpartum is kind of hard to avoid. But anyways, it's not something you like pray away. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you can, you know what I mean? But like, you need to seek treatment as well, or help prior to or during the situation. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. So what I was saying was, it's a whole different situation and it feels completely different. This, first off, I have hormones going on. So every time I cry, it's not postpartum depression. Every time, like, I do something that's just very emotional, is not postpartum depression. That's usually just regular, like, hormonal stuff, you know, like just being so overwhelmed and stuff like that. But like the postpartum for me, because I feel like everybody's postpartum is different. Like some people's postpartum is like really dangerous, like they're thinking of harming the baby or themselves or both. You know, I've heard that scary part of postpartum. I don't have that. If I ever thought about something like that, I would definitely see my therapist, seek help immediately. I would put the baby with, I would leave her with her dad or with my mom, or in good care. I would never harm my child. But like I said, if I somehow had those thoughts, I would seek help immediately because, I mean, it is postpartum. That's one of the stigmas with it. And, so anyways, that's what I thought it was going to be, and it was something completely different for me. Many triggers, many different things trigger it. Like yesterday, even, we went to the doctor, and we were walking out of the doctor, and my mom went ahead of me because she was getting the baby in the car. Obviously, I had a C-section, so my fupa just showed on YouTube. That's embarrassing. Anyways, but yeah, I had to walk slow. So instead of just walking like an old 80-year-old person and walking to the car awkwardly, I decided to be on my phone. Like, might as well enjoy the ride, right? Yeah. So I was like on my phone, but the reason why I was walking slow was not because I was on my phone. It was because I just had a C-section. I was in a lot of pain. I hadn't taken my medication that day, and I need to take it now too. I'm in a lot of pain right now. And so yeah, and this lady, I didn't even know she was talking to me at first. She just comes around me and I hear her talking to her son, who's like 4 or 5 years old, like he's walking or whatever. And she's like, yeah, if this lady could just get out. Like, we're walking out of the slide doors. Now, mind you, this is not one of those 360 turnarounds where you have to wait for someone. This is not one of those single person doors where you have to wait for someone. This is a sliding door that goes like from one end of the wall to the other end of the wall. So there's plenty of space, but if you just choose to walk in my direction, then you just choose to walk in my direction. Like, what do you want me to do? That was the case. And hey, hi. Ooh, she's giving me face. So she's like, yeah, if this lady would just get off, she was like, if she gets off the phone, if this lady gets off the phone, she said, if this lady gets off the phone, we can get around her or we can get out or something like that, she said. But basically talking about me walking slow, thinking I'm just like on my phone. And I get that assumption, but like also we're walking out of a freaking hospital because that's where like her doctor's is. It's not like a doctor's office. But even if we were a doctor's office, it's a doctor's office. So if I'm walking a certain way and you see that I'm not 80 years old, which hopefully from the back I don't look 80 years old, but that's a whole nother story, then you should probably assume that I'm in major pain or I have a major situation while I'm walking slow, right? Right. So the lady made me so mad, and I'm not even gonna I'm not gonna say what exactly all the things I said because I'm not proud that I even said that around my daughter. But literally, it's like I couldn't control it. I immediately was like, I was like, well, that's rude, B. And like, she was walking so fast already because she's a coward, and I'm still upset about it, but like, I'm not as upset as I was in that moment. Like, my blood, if you would have checked my blood pressure in that moment, it would have been sky high, through the roof. Like, in a matter of like 2 to 3 seconds, my mom even, like, I couldn't even talk to my mom for like 5 minutes in the car because she was just like, what happened? And I'm just have tears flowing out my eyes. And I'm just like, because I wanted to run up to that lady, if I could run, and snatch her hair, pull her down, and murder her. Like, I wanted to murder her. Like, and not like literally, but like I wanted to beat the crap out of her really, really bad. Didn't care that she had a kid there. Didn't like that logic was out the roof. That, I believe, is my postpartum depression because it's not logical. It doesn't make sense. It's highly, highly, highly on the emotional scale. It was to the point of inconsolability. It was a bad, negative thing that normally I would not have done. I would never murder or beat someone to death or beat someone to almost death or anything like that. And I'm sorry if this video is a little dark. I'll try to lighten it up a little bit. But I want to be like real with you guys and like tell you guys like my story and my journey. And I want to look back on this and see how far I've come in like a year or 6 months or something like that. So anyways, I got in the car and I was just like, honestly, I was cursing. I was doing all these things and I was looking at my child like sleeping so peacefully in the car. And it's like in my head, oh, I want to cry. Because in my head, I'm thinking, Taylor, number one, why are you cursing around your child? And number two, you have this beautiful gift here. Forget that woman. She's crazy. She's rude. And if she wants to teach her son that, then that's her. There's nothing you can do about that. And it's so weird, you guys, because like literally in those moments, you know how some people are like, oh, after the fact, I realized, you know, that was wrong. I was in the moment in my brain. I could literally see or feel or hear or whatever you want to call it, like the feeling of it, of one side of my brain conflicting with the other side of my brain. One side was saying like, get that girl. Like, honestly, I'm so glad my mom was there, because if I was by myself, I probably drove over there and cussed her out like face to face. But my mom, of course, kept driving because she's like, Taylor, like, it's not that serious. Like, yeah, that was rude. Like, that's just a story you tell. Like, oh, this lady was rude at the doctor or whatever. But like, it's nothing to like hurt somebody over. And you don't want to slap them and do all these things that I was like claiming that I wanted to do to her. And she's like, Taylor, what if you were with Anaya by yourself? Like, you're not going to just put Anaya down and go hurt that woman. And I'm like, logically, yeah, I know. So it's like my logic side of my brain was fighting the non-logical side of my brain. And it was happening all in once. And I felt it happening. And so I was able to not bring myself down. Like, I had to just breathe. Like, I just remember just letting it. My mom just started being quiet. I'm sure she was praying, because that's what she does. And I just started being quiet, and I was just looking at my baby, because I'm like, anytime I looked at her, logic came into play, and it came in to say, what are you talking about? What are you... Okay, she had like kind of went on her face there. Logic had kind of came into play. Hey, boo baby. Ooh. Logic came into play every time I looked at her, so I just kept focusing on her and breathing. Next thing you know, we were kind of like at Walmart, and I was in the car. My mom was like in Walmart getting like a lot of things that we needed, and I fell asleep. We had the car on, of course. I was in the backseat with her. I fell asleep. I woke up, and I just felt like such a calming and peacefulness. And I just remember like being like thinking about what happened again at the store, and I was like, well, that's weird. Like, I don't have that same reaction right now. I'm like, that was a dumb lady. Kind of like when someone cuts you off in traffic, and sometimes you get that really bad response, and sometimes you're just like, thank you, Jesus, that, like, I didn't get into a wreck. It's kind of like that. So anyways, I don't know. I'm rambling. But I say all that to say that's what postpartum is for me. It's a high, high, high emotional state where it's uncontrolled. It's almost uncontrollable. Like right now I physically can't do things, so it's like it's controllable. But if I could physically have done something that day, would I have? I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know. I would like to think that I wouldn't. I really would. I think I would have been more verbal, because I would have confronted her about it, but it all just happened so fast and so quickly. But anyways, I just wanted to tell that story because like it was just so hard. And like that's just like one aspect of it. That's just like one example. But also there's been, like I said, the first 2 nights were so hard. My nipples, sorry if this is like too much for you guys, but my nipples were like getting raw, like bleeding and things like that, because like she wouldn't, like, it's not even that she wouldn't latch, it's just my milk didn't come in until literally yesterday. And so I think about breastfeeding without much milk, and like the baby's expecting all this milk, and so she's gonna go, so she's sucking on this nipple so hard that doesn't have, it's a supply and demand. Like her demand was higher than my supply at the time. So it was really, really hard. It was a hard process. I wanted to give up on breastfeeding. I was actually going to give up on breastfeeding yesterday. My doctor had given me like samples for for formula, which we use because she said I need to take at least 24 hours off the nipple if possible, different things like that. But yesterday I ate some lactation cookies, you know, make sure I was drinking water, which I need to drink right now, all those different things. And like literally the floodgates were opened and my milk let down and all is pretty much well. I did start pumping as well. Just different things like that. Like things, I take the little things and I take them as wins, because the first 2 days were just so hard and I never thought ill or harm about my baby, but I just felt like I couldn't do it as a mom. And I think I'll still have those days and for quite some time, because of the depression, because of the postpartum depression, and just because of the hormones. So I have 3 factors versus like a lot of people only have like 1 factor, which is maybe postpartum or maybe just the hormones or whatever. So anyways, like I said, this is day Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today's Tuesday. Today's day 4 at home and day 5 or 6 with her being in the world. And so I am feeling okay. I'm feeling stable. I'm not gonna say I feel amazing, but when I look in her eyes, like it's everything. Like it's everything to just even be like laying here with a baby right now. It's insane. You know what I mean? Like it's insane. Like I would have never thought I would be here. And yeah, it's just crazy. But excuse me. I'm gonna try to do these unedited if I can. I might edit a little bit. I don't know yet. You'll know by the time I put this video up. And yeah, I'll try to get these vlogs out. I don't know if I'm doing weekly or daily or like what I'm doing. Because if I do daily, it'll be like one takes like this. Because there's just no way I can do. I'm not mobile yet. So I'm not like going places and doing this and doing that. It's literally just this half the time. 80% of the time actually is this. So anyways, I will talk to you guys soon. I hope this wasn't too dark of a video for you, but it is the realities sometimes and for some people of pregnancy and having a child and things like that. And don't get me wrong, there's so many good moments. There's been so many great moments. Like, oh yeah, I'll talk about that on the next video, so it won't be so dark. But I just wanted to let y'all know my experience with that, because I think a lot of people have that and they're scared to say it or scared to admit it and different things like that. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. In the meantime, if you want to follow me on Snapchat, it's at SnapTayNow, and you get to see this one all the time and this one because I'm beautiful. I haven't brushed my teeth today. No, yes I did. Today I did. Yesterday I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta go. All right, love you guys. Bye.